We all feel that moment when we're getting too excited in a new relationship or in the prospect of one. We're starting to get too excited, we're starting to gush, we're starting to text, we're starting to feel as though we can let down our guard. And you know, there's people that say, well, that's what love is. You gotta let down your guard and you gotta be open-hearted. And that's true to an extent. Like, you do have to do that, but you also have to have a balance. Otherwise, you're caught, you're done, you're set. You're not really a goal that they're pursuing anymore, and they're just going to lose interest. I mean, you have to kind of realize and see yourself getting caught up. And how, when we see ourselves getting caught up, do we, I guess you'd say, take back the power? How do we take back the power and just kind of not make a fool of ourselves? I'd say that there's two things to do. One, you've got to create distance. I know you want to talk a lot. I know you have a perfectly rational, cutesy little, oh, I got to just send this meme. I got to talk about some very important little thing that's nothing. It's nothing. It doesn't look like it's too much. It just came up. I got to bring it up. No. You've really got to go cold and distant when you've gone really warm and hot. When you've showed too much, when you played your hand and they're thinking, I got her, you really have to switch gears and be able to go into elusive, reclusive land. Because when we're in a dynamic, there's got to be a sense of push-pull and wanting and desire in order for it to stay passionate and dynamic. This is early stage game playing. This isn't settled relationship. This is early stages. And so when you feel yourself and you always know, because you always kind of know when you're letting your emotions lead you instead of your best kind of self-interest in terms of, I need to hold up. When there's that sense of somebody about to fill a void for you, you get very excited, and there's just we got to pull back, get distant. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to be unfriendly when you hear from them. It just means that you aren't going to be initiating and kind of in this energy of the pursuant, the chaser, the excited person, the overeager, right? The second thing you got to do is you have kind of set a default kind of comfort level character that they think you are, right? They think of you as a certain way, or they're starting to, right? And as soon as somebody starts to get an idea of you in one character, you have to switch it on them. You have to have a surprise. You have to have something that completely is paradoxical. So, for instance, if I've been playing this kind of polo shirt ingenue who's obsessive and overthinking and always neurotic and kind of open about it, but also kind of just, okay, they're a Seinfeld type. They're a fast-talking, neurotic, whatever. Well, the next time you see this person or you engage with them, you've got to then plant this new character that seems to be a contradiction of what is your status quo. So your status quo character, when you talk to them, might be kind of nervous. This time, when you talk to them, you've got to have this almost very cold and kind of slow-moving energy. So say you were kind of frenetic and you were moving a lot. You were in that anxiety kind of state. This time, work on making your movements slowing down. So this means being willing to let silence hang. So you're talking to somebody and if you've in the past kind of been eager to, I've got to have a paragraph long talk, this time you kind of can sit back and you kind of ooze in a slow way, like molasses. You're not rushing in like water to talk or to fill the silence. You're just kind of taking them in. And this is going to create interest too because it creates curiosity. And when you have gone against your type, when you've gone against what was the established character that you've been with them, that's going to raise interest. So if you've been too much, if you've gotten too overeager, the two ways to get past it is distance and flip the script, flip the character, do a different role. And this can mean many things. Another role you could do is showing that shadow side. Now, what does that mean? It means showing that if you've kind of been like somebody that's always expressing worry about, oh, I hope everyone's not mad at me, or this kind of, say that's your top complaint you've shared in the past with this person. Well, now it's time for you to have a complete stark shadow thing where you're kind of talking about how you're done with these people. You've killed off the people-pleasing side of yourself, and you kind of have this very dominant, very no-holds-barred way. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy to just jump into this. It's kind of gotta be real, because there is going to be that side of you that exists. We all have a side of us that we don't like to be seen as. Like, we don't want to be seen as mean. We don't want to be seen as selfish. We don't want to be seen as jealous, vengeful, petty, all matter of it. But the truth is actually letting people see a dose of these sides is what makes you an interesting person, makes you a dimensional person. Just seeing one side of somebody who's always like, I'm so worried about people, and I also am so effusive, I'm so open-hearted, you're so great, I like you. That gets old. It does. It's predictable, and it's always Mary Sunshine, always Pollyanna and her braids. Oh, I'm so sweet. Well, that's not interesting. So a little bit of sour, a little bit of edge, a little bit of whiskey in the teacup. I know that's annoying. That's a Reese Witherspoon thing. A little bit of that goes a long way, because especially if you're at the point where you're getting boring because you've shown, oh, you've got me, I'm really interested, I'm really open. You've got to go closed, and you've got to go surprise. It'll get that curiosity back up. Suddenly they don't really know what girl they're going to get. They might get the cold, aloof person. They might get the elusive, reclusive. They might get somebody that's a little scary, a little intimidating. And isn't that more interesting than same old complimentary, good girl, whatever it may be? On the contrast, if you've always been kind of this very, very no-holds-barred dominant personality, showing that little sliver of your empathy and your heart and your softness, if you've been very hard and you show a soft side, that's also completely irresistible, because we are dimensional people. We all have these different aspects. So that's why we need to be able to show them, and a willingness to show them is so. Think of all the people that you love to see their wickedness with their safety. Like, I love to see a guy who seems completely safe and comforting and open-hearted and sweet and expressive. But I don't just want that sickening sweet divinity ball. I like to have a nut inside, like a really kind of a hard. I like to see a hard kind of wicked. Suddenly I'm eating this sickeningly sweet marshmallow, and suddenly I get something very, very rough, hard, and just, it's hard to chew, but it's very good. It's interesting. It's seeing them as dangerous and safe, seeing them as a dimensional human. And so I'm not going to give them the same. I'm applying what I like. I like to have a dimensional person, and everyone likes to have a dimensional person in order to keep things interesting. And so these are the ways you often will find yourself in that stage where you think, oh no, I've lost. Oh no, I've gotten too weak. I've showed myself. They know I like them. They know they have me. All just relax. You've got this. All you have to do is pull back, show distance, have that nice distance, and then second, show a different side of yourself that's unexpected. That's a surprise. And they'll be back. They always come back. Always come back, because there's always just a little bit of time and a little bit of giving them that space will make them curious about you. Sometimes you don't even have to do either of these things. No, you generally do. You have to do both of these things. All right, I hope this was helpful, and don't beat yourself up if you feel as though you've overplayed your hand and you've shown somebody that they have you, because they never have you, right? You know you can always flip the script and make things interesting again.